Hey guys.
What's up?
What's up? What's up?
Happy Friday. Welcome back to another episode of Operation Hustle. What your doctors do not tell you. They seem to forget all the time.
So I wanted to start off with a quote. So the quote is, "Time and health are two precious assets that we don't recognize and appreciate until they have been depleted." And this is so important because it goes hand in hand with what doctors don't tell us. So Justin, why don't you start us off?
All right, so we're going to talk about some positive and negatives of working out. Now, the list is very long for the positives. The negatives not so long. So if I were to tell you that this pill that you could take could do all these things, I guarantee you would all take it. So we're going to start out with it combats health conditions and diseases. It improves your mood, improves your energy, gives you better sleep, better sex drive, improves learning, and creates better brain connections, releases endorphins, relieves stress, builds confidence, builds strength, endurance. The list goes on. Like I said, if there was a pill, I'm sure you would all take it. There is actually more to the list. I'm just not going to ramble on with all the benefits. Negatives that I've personally experienced are going to be injuries, overtraining, and body dysmorphia, which I think every single person has.
Yeah, I feel like you can have that working out or not working out. But one thing I wanted to kind of touch on with what doctors don't tell us, and I actually did a little Facebook Live, and, I always get a little bit controversial with this just because not everybody agrees. And guess what? When we talk about things that people don't want to hear, the things they need to hear, that's when it gets weird. But anyways, so I did a little live on these anatomical models that I bought just to help make things a little bit more visual for people, and especially to help my trainers utilize those in consultations, because sometimes people need to be reminded as to why they need it, and sometimes just telling them isn't enough. Sometimes you have to show them. And it's crazy to me that when you go in for your, doctor's visits and you find out through blood work or, just through your appointment that you have these, health issues going on. They are so quick to just give you medication to maintain it or to take care of it.
Here's a pill, here's your bill, baby.
Exactly. Sure. Here's a pill and here's your bill. I mean, this is insane. And then I'll have clients that come in and they have type 2 diabetes, they have high cholesterol, they have high blood pressure, but then they'll tell me it's too expensive. You know what's too expensive? And here we go with the controversy. Pills are too expensive. Doctor's visits with copays and more frequent visits because you have all these underlying conditions are more expensive, right? Yeah. And I have so many clients that we have gotten off medication, and I'm going to actually use one of Alejandro's clients, Russ, as an example because I did in the live. This man came in and he had all sorts of health issues, and I won't be talking about his specific health issues, but we got him off all the medication that he was on for those health issues.
Props to Russ, baby.
Right? And he's actually given us a video testimonial, and so one of those things, was neuropathy, which is really, really hard to get off medication for that. And honestly, medical miracle, right? But so, doctors are so quick to throw you on a pill instead of saying, you know what, I'm going to recommend, and there's not enough doctors out there that are partnered with personal trainers. They're partnered with dietitians, but they're not partnered with local nutritionists. They're not partnered with personal trainers, and they don't say, listen, this isn't a recommendation, this is a need. I need you to go get yourself a personal trainer. You're not pushing yourself. It's been a year since your last visit. You have not, lost any weight that I've asked you to lose, and or you've gained weight since then, right? It could be either one. But doctors aren't doing that. They're just telling you to go for a walk. The walk is not enough. Okay.
A walk is a start, though, guys.
It's a start,
Don't
and I'm
not walk.
right.
Don't
I'm
not
not.
walk.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't walk. Or like I said in my live, if you are really, really obese and just walking from your door to your driveway is a start, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. You should do it, right? But what I'm saying, it's just not enough, especially when you have underlying health conditions. And so, it's just sad to me that that's not what's brought up. What's brought up is take this pill, right? So,
pills will destroy your insides as well.
Yeah.
So, the more you take them, the more you rely on them, the more you kind of become
And then
reliant.
you build up tolerance to them as well, right? So sometimes you even need to, increase your dosage of your cholesterol medication or increase your dosage of the high blood pressure medication. And why is the solution that the doctors give us not exercise and diet? And it's not a recommendation, it's a need, it's an urgency. You need to do this now, right? But instead they say, you need to take this pill now. That's insane when you say it out loud.
Yeah, and I think if any time, now is when we take our health serious with being in the middle of a pandemic, not so much focusing on, yes, wear the mask, be safe, whatever you got to do. But really work on your health and how your own health can combat this.
Right. This is something that
terrible
we're in
thing.
control of. You know what I mean? We're not in control of this virus, this pandemic, but we are in control of our own actions and our own health and what we do with our bodies. And so, you can't just always play the victim card and say, oh, I have had these health conditions, I can't work out. Like, everybody's capable of something. I have a client who's in a wheelchair, who is a little person who doesn't have a lot of, length in her
She's a
limbs
savage.
and mobility, but she's a savage. She comes in with broken limbs and she does it. And I'm not saying you should, right? She's been having breaks her whole life, and so she's really, really, high pain tolerance. But what I'm saying is, even with health conditions, you can do a little bit of something. Even 1-2 pound weights. If you have something like, let's say you have fibromyalgia and it hurts for you to work out, you start somewhere.
Yeah, something is better than nothing.
Something is better than nothing, absolutely.
And just starting doing anything, like we said, just go for a walk. Start one time a week, and every week add a day to that. And eventually that walk will probably turn into a run, which will
But
turn
my
into
thing
a
is,
workout.
Justin, these doctors aren't even addressing what needs to be addressed. They want to throw these people on pills, but then if you have a patient who has come in and they are every year repeatedly getting heavier, or they're not making any progress, and you've already told them, like, listen, you have diabetes, and nobody really takes that so seriously. And I think it's just because it's so common now. It's so common to have onset type 2 diabetes. So
Yeah.
it's like they don't understand that you could lose a limb. You could get retinopathy, neuropathy, right?
For sure.
I mean, these are serious health conditions, yet nobody takes it seriously until your limb is lost, or unless you're having neuropathy, right? But if you have type 2 diabetes, or you're even close to it because your body fat is that high, you're very close to being pre-diabetic. I mean, these are very real issues that could happen to you. And so really, I think for me, it's just to educate the public. Like, we need to take health conditions seriously, because these health conditions do put you at a greater risk to become sicker with this particular virus than somebody who is in a clean bill of health, right? So those are things that you can control. We can't control a virus, but we can control, how you, sanitize, how you keep things clean, and we can control our bodies and what we do with them. Our body is a temple, right? And that's something that God says, and that's something that's in the Bible. Our body is a temple. We need to take care of it. But I do want to say one thing before I pass the mic over to Alejandro and Caitlin, is that we have somebody comment in here say, and then there are side effects. Quenica says, side effects to every medication, and the medication never truly addresses the root cause of the issue. It's just a Band-Aid, and that is so true. And it's funny, if
sure.
I'm going to,
I agree.
expand on this, is like sometimes when people come in with the cost thing again, they'll say, oh, I can't afford it, but then I see they have their hair done, they have their nails done, they're carrying a brand new purse, or they're
They got
carrying
that Mercedes parked
right,
out front,
exactly.
baby, let's go.
That's a Band-Aid right there.
Yeah.
Okay, that luxury car is not giving you a clean bill of health. That those nails are not giving you a clean bill of health and or making you feel good. Really, it's just a Band-Aid that makes you feel good when you look down at your nails for 5 seconds until you look back in the mirror.
Yeah, I would say treat your body like you treat your items. Like, if you have a brand new Ferrari, we know you're putting that good gas in there, that good oil. Like, why wouldn't you build your own body to max potential and have yourself feeling and looking great? It's crazy how most people don't really see it that way.
But these are the things that people don't want to hear. Caitlin, do you want to touch on that?
Yeah, I was just thinking that it's as simple as just making personal trainers a part of the referral process.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, you go to a psychiatrist, they can refer you to a psychologist, right?
Absolutely.
Why can't you go to a doctor and they refer you to a personal trainer, or
Absolutely.
at least a private gym like us? And I think
for
some
sure.
people kind of look at personal trainers sometimes and they're like, oh, they're just in it for the money. But really, over here at Abs Fitness, it's different. Like, I'm here to help you change your life. This is what I enjoy doing. I get love out of my career because I enjoy seeing people make these changes, right? So it's more than just, we want your money, right? We want you to come in, make this change, work on yourself, invest on yourself. Quenica always says, right? Invest in yourself. It is you are a project. Your health is a project.
Sure.
You need to put money in it, just the way you put money in your car. Like your Ferrari that's outside,
That's right.
that brand new gas is probably $3 a gallon, right? Boom.
Nah, more than that.
You can go buy you can go buy a freaking personal training package. Start with 1, 2. Go start with that walk from the door to the freaking end of the driveway. It's just that start is what people hesitate the most. That breaking point of the initial step. Once you take the initial step, all the other steps are easy. Just do it.
For sure.
Yeah.
It
becomes like an addiction, and you begin to love it, and you begin to love yourself and the way that you're growing and the way that you're feeling. It makes you feel so good after a great workout.
Yeah.
Right, Ashton?
Alejandro, what are you going to say on this?
Are we talking about the negatives and the positives, or are we just outlining
Kinda
the
like
positives as of right now?
Both, and what doctors don't recommend, if you have anything that you'd like to touch on that.
So As far as the doctors go, I do think that standard health and fitness practices are something that is seriously lacking whenever it comes to our education system today. PE class and health class is like so just lackluster. I remember going to those two, and it's like, we go throw a dodgeball at each other every once in a while. And for health class, we're gonna learn that the heart. Guess what the heart does? Yep, the heart pumps blood, and the lungs process oxygen. But it's not really like it's in depth in the food pyramid. Can we talk about the food pyramid?
Yeah, that needs to be
Big old piece of trash.
redesigned. Actually, it just needs to be thrown out.
Yeah.
And, it's funny talking about PE because I'm sitting here thinking of, and it's specifically, so I'm sorry if you were my high school teacher at RAM, really. But so I'm thinking about PE, and it's like, when I was in high school, we were playing so many sports, and it sucks because it's specifically if you get a PE teacher who was an athlete, they're definitely tailoring all of the PE classes around athletics, and that really just excludes the people who aren't athletic, right, and who actually do need this physical exercise. So I remember particularly playing like lacrosse, and that was like a whole thing, and like me and my other girlfriend Kelsey and my gym class, we loved to be athletic, so like we were competitive, we had fun,
Gym class
but
heroes,
like
baby.
right, but there
Let's
were
go.
like other girls that hated that, and I got that, and so like they would find any excuse. Oh, I have my period, cramps, I cannot work out. And then they'd sit on the side, or I didn't bring my gym clothes on purpose. But because they weren't having fun, it wasn't inclusive, and we need to make these workouts more like a personal trainer would. Like, come on, they should be coming in for a group session. They should be coming in for like a hype boot camp. That's what's going to keep these kids healthy, wanting to know more about working out and really exploring that outside of high school, and actually just including everybody. And if insurance paid for people to truly get healthy, how would they get rich off of the sick people? Sad truth. Ooh, facts.
Thanks,
Controversy.
thanks,
The things people don't want to hear, right? But that's what somebody just commented. Love that comment.
I mean, even this, me, Justin, we all say this in the time. You go to your doctor, they'll tell you you're obese, overweight, and then look at your doctor. What do they look like?
Yeah.
They're overweight, high body fat.
Yeah.
They're preaching
That's
you to
pretty
go get healthy, but they're not even healthy themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, can
We
you really
train
talk?
doctors.
Can you really trust them at
And
the
then
end of the day?
and then it's like I said on this live is like they don't really have much education about exercise and nutrition, and they get general knowledge on that. And I can't tell you this enough. Like, I'm telling you right now, we train surgeons, we train doctors. I trained a lung specialist who asked me for a meal plan. We train the nurses. Why? Because they don't have this knowledge themselves. That's a general small part of their education. You know what I mean? They're focusing on diagnoses and how to, take blood and all of that stuff. That's just a small part. And so you can't blame them for not remembering that small part of their education. But at the same time, doctors aren't gods. I'm not saying we are. I'm just saying this is a profession that we hone in on and that we know about. We have knowledge about. This isn't a general education where we got, like I said, it's a small part of their education. It's a general part of their education was health and nutrition. This is something that we solely focus on, right? So again, I'm going to stress this enough. If you haven't had the accountability yourself yet, don't keep saying, tomorrow I will. Put the money aside and invest in somebody who does focus on health and fitness, who knows about it, who has the knowledge, and who's going to help you take you to the place where you need to be.
Yeah, the accountability is one of the biggest things that we provide. So I actually have hired a trainer in the past.
Same.
Even trainers hire trainers, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Now, like professional athletes, they also do the same thing. Without that coach or without that trainer, they would not be the athlete they would be today.
Yeah.
So I think that also you take that into consideration if you're like thinking you're too good to hire someone. Everybody can use help. Like, I could literally go hire a trainer tomorrow and become better tomorrow.
I mean,
by
we
doing
all
that.
work out together sometimes, and when we do those group workouts together as trainers, the workout is awesome. It's insane, and like I've said this to Justin before, I'm like, I miss when we did our group workouts because we haven't done them a lot lately because we've been so busy. We've been exploding with clients, which is awesome, not a problem.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you, Jesus. But those group workouts, like the motivation, the hype, it was like nuts. You know what I mean?
Just good energy, good vibes.
Good energy, good vibes. But like he said, like even trainers need pushes. But that kind of leads us into what we wanted to talk about what else we want to talk about in this episode was just like our training, different knowledge that we all provide, because we do all have things that we specialize in. Justin, he specializes in bodybuilding. I specialize in glute training. Caitlin specializes in sports conditioning and just athletics, youth athletics. And Alejandro specializes in fighting and martial arts. And so I want to kind of break that down. So Justin, why don't you start off with bodybuilding and what, your workout routine is, or any sort of tips that you want to give?
So I use a power building method, which is a mixture of powerlifting and bodybuilding. It's going to create strength and basically mass building for your muscles, because everybody likes big muscles.
Yep.
So the split right now that I'm on is a leg, chest. I have a back and arm day, and then I have another leg day, and then I do another like chest and back or arm or shoulder. It just depends on like how I'm feeling for the week. That's just how I've been splitting it up lately. But I've been training for mass personally, and then like all my clients that come in, obviously we run them through different things. I'm not training everyone power building style. I know a ton of different styles, which is the cool thing about working out, is there's so many different ways to achieve one of your goals. And I've switched my style multiple times. I used to strictly do bodybuilding. I was doing a little bit of CrossFit. It's okay. It's kind of but it's good cardio, and it'll build your core. It'll challenge you in different ways. And now I'm back on the power building, which is my favorite, because I like to be strong and I like to be big. So I would think for anyone trying to gain mass fast, the power building method is really, really good. It's going to contain like your squats, your bench, your dead, your main lifts, and then just like a bunch of accessories that are like fun to do and get a pump and just grow. And it's fun to watch yourself grow, I'll tell you.
Absolutely. So a little bit on what I specialize in glute training. What I call it is peach meat. So, I really like Brett Contras. And, we all get information from different people, but this is a particularly a personal trainer that I really, really like. He has a lot of knowledge. He has his PhD. And so one of the things that I want to give a tip out there for ladies is stop doing squats and deadlifts to build your glutes. They're great foundational exercises, but they're not going to help maximize glute gains. So, and this is something that Brett Contrast talks about as well, is, one of the main exercises that I love for glute building is hip thrusts. And you typically feel your glutes contracting to a higher degree on every rep. And the proof is really in the pudding. Like and I've said this before, I had no butt. And so I really built my butt, and it's all about variation too. And so the butt is made of 3 different muscles. So you have the gluteus maximus, the gluteus medius, and the gluteus minimus. And so you really need to focus on all parts of the butt to give it that great shape, right, ladies? So like don't focus on just the maximus, right? You need to work on that side booty and the underbutt, right? And so each one does different things. And I'm going to just read this because I really wanted to give you guys some great knowledge on what they do. So the gluteus maximus, the largest part of the butt, it's responsible for shape. And it works when you raise your thigh to the side, rotate, right, and you thrust. And the gluteus medius, it's a prime mover of abduction, and it works the hip joints and medial rotation and flexion as well. And the gluteus minius, more so like the underbutt, right, similar to the medius, in structure, blood supply, and nerves. Its main function is abduction and hip stabilization. But so each part of the butt does different things, but it's important to work all of them. So don't forget to work all parts of the glutes, especially if you want that nice peach shape. That's what that's going to give you.
This also applies to men. Don't leave the hip thrusts out. Me and Alejandro and Phil do them suckers, man. We don't like them, but we do them.
Absolutely.
I make all my male clients do them too.
Yep. So that's what I focus on. A little bit of knowledge from me is stop doing squats and deadlifts to build your glutes. Focus on variation, right? Hip thrusts, and focus on different things like, cable stuff, band stuff, and do like a heavy leg day. I do 2 heavy leg days, and I do 1 more either functional or volume and higher rep leg day.
Yeah, 3 leg days, man.
Right.
You hear this?
My split is 3 leg days, 2 to 3 upper days. And if I only do the 2, then I split it usually sometimes biceps, back, shoulders, and then chest and triceps, or, I just, change that every single week. But my split is 3 leg days a week.
All right. I'll kind of go off of Abby. I'm also currently on a 3-leg day split, and my glute gains have kind of skyrocketed, especially since I've added in hip thrusts. I used to not hip thrust because I hated them and then just hurt my butt.
Team
Yeah, but I learned that it's the number 1 exercise to do if you want your glutes to grow. So 100% correct on that. Now, For my training right now, I've actually, I'm playing around with it. It's not 100% set, but I am going to, starting next week, prep for a show, a bodybuilding, not bodybuilding, but just a physique show. So category would be wellness or bikini. So if you guys don't know a lot about that, it's more of a thicker lower body, a little bit toned up on the upper body. Really all my goals are for that. I'm going to have to get these shoulders growing, get the shoulder caps going, and then just keep pushing my 3-leg days. I also do the same way Abby programs. I do 2 heavy days. I usually split that into, I still squat and deadlift for my strength gains, not necessarily for my glute gains.
That's cool.
Right, there's a difference.
Yeah, there's a difference. You still feel your glutes activating, but it's not going to hit them the best as the hip thrust. But then my third day is more of an explosive athletic day, that's what I like to be. I like to be mobile and athletic. I kind of got away from athletic training after I graduated from school and just basketball and all that stuff. I really got into heavy lifting, more of the bodybuilding, power building type thing, and then I just felt heavy. I don't like feeling heavy, being thick. I felt like I couldn't jump. I felt like I wasn't really agile anymore, so I kind of switched over my training for that. And that's one of my biggest things is my goals for what I want to do and what I want my body to look like and what I want my body to do changes week to week, not week to week, month to month. So my style of training changes a lot. I've currently stick to 4 weeks at a time. I'm doing the same 5 to 6 workouts, 4 weeks. Boom. I'm focusing on my form, my technique, my reps. I'm making sure every rep is pretty, right?
Perfect.
Every rep counts. My last sets, my best sets, right? That's what I like to say. I say it all to my clients. Make your last set your best set, even if you feel shitty, like your legs are about to shake. I was going for a deadlift 205 last night. My
let's
legs
go.
were shaking. I had to get that rep up. It was just, you got to do what you got to do. But I am really excited for this show, to
Love
prep
that.
for this bodybuilding show.
We're excited for you.
Yeah.
We can't wait to see you up on that stage. And
Yes.
egg you on, girl. Let's go.
Great.
Yep.
Go train heavy, guys. Don't be afraid of the weights. I'll
Allie.
tell you that much.
Let's hear about you and your workout routine and your tips.
So my workout routine's been kind of up in the air as of lately. I just have a lot of responsibilities as far as, just a new pup. He's about 6 months
Same,
old.
baby.
And, just maintaining my client schedule as well as balancing fighting with that. If I was to describe to you an ideal split, it would include 3 days of weight training in which there are a lot of prehab motions, very functional and rotator/joint focused motions. Like I would definitely focus on the hip joints, knee joints, ankle joints. Wrist would be like a small factor, but the rotator cuffs would be a big focus for me, as well as thoracic contraction and extension, just because as a fighter you do need to maintain not just the rigidity of the muscles, but also the ability to loosen the muscle fibers. That's where a lot of that explosivity and explosive power comes from. So there would be 3 days in which I focus on those, especially active recovery days as well. I would likely only have like one of those days in which I'm focusing on more explosive movements, and the rest would be like standard strength and stability. Outside of that, 5 to 6 days a week, possibly even 7, whenever it comes down to like prepping for an actual fight, would be skill-based days, at least 2 sparring sessions per week, in which those days are going to be heavy. As of right now, I'm spending about anywhere from 2 to 3 hours in the gym whenever it comes to my fight days. So, yeah.
Love
staying
that.
busy.
Yeah, always grinding, dude. I love
Yep.
it.
And that's what I mean. Like, your goals are very specific to what you're doing in that time.
Yeah, these
you
are
know?
just goals as to what
Yes.
are specific with us and what we're trying to achieve with our bodies. So don't take exactly
sure.
what we're saying and go and rush the gym and now you're in there doing the splits that we told you. We're just saying this is what works for us, and goals change all the time. And don't feel like you have to stick with the same routine. Like Caitlin said, her goals change every month, and so
change is good.
after this program, she might decide she wants to do something else with her body, and that's fine too. But this is what works for us. These are the tips that we can give you. And maybe it's a different type of program or split that you can try. But these are just things that we all specialize in. I love to glute train. That's just me. But, we all have things that we're interested in.
And if you enjoy it, you're more likely going to stick with it. So once you do
Absolutely,
find
yeah.
something you enjoy, like, keep doing it. Even if it's just like going and playing a sport, like, it doesn't have to be locked into a gym all the time. But I would recommend hitting those weights because it's fun and satisfying. But training is it's something that we all love to do. That's why we're doing it. We like training our clients as well. But I've been training for over 15 years now, and I mean, I'm the oldest guy on this show. And I've changed my workout routine so many different times, and that is what's awesome about working out is there's so many different ways to do it, and so much information out there now too that is free. I mean, I've learned a lot of stuff just from YouTube alone.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, try different things. Like, one time I posted a glute workout that works well for me, and not everybody's glutes engage the same way. And I posted in this group on Facebook, and, somebody, of course, they had to just attack me, and I don't feel that when I do that. Okay, but that's you. But this is what works well with me, and there might be somebody else out there that exercise helps them engage their glutes as well. And so play around with different exercises. Don't always think that something that somebody put out there on the internet is going to work best for you, right? And think about injuries included. Like, you might see let's say deadlift, a conventional deadlift, and this is the first time you're learning how to do it. But if you have major back injuries and that's not going to be what's best for you, and you need to rehab those muscles around it first before trying that, then don't go ahead and go for the deadlift without rehabbing or building those muscles around it, making sure you have a strong core, right? But, not everything is universal to everyone is just what I'm trying to say.
And lifting will bring injuries. We talked about this. I've had plenty down the line. I've been lifting for over, like I said, 15 years. Back injuries, shoulders, elbows.
Oh, I do want to read this quick before we get off because this is a really great one about Caitlin. So Quanika says, testimony, I've been working through a back injury after having COVID last year. My doctors wanted to throw me on steroids, both orally and via injections. Currently, I am strengthening the surrounding muscles, practicing better posture, and stretching with the help of Caitlin and Abs Fitness. Keep your medication and your shots. Oh, and I'm down 15 pounds, feeling
Yeah,
nice.
we're doing the
Yeah.
damn
What?
thing.
Crushing it,
That's what I'm
crushing
talking
it.
about, guys. Like, seriously, that is literally what we were just talking about, was like trying to recommend medication for her immediately, right? Like, what? Like, she could have done this with a trainer, which she is now. So it's just like, why would you just recommend a shot and pills before recommending something that's more natural and won't-
Sustainable.
Yeah, sustainable.
For sure, and it's like a
Love that.
lifetime thing. Like, you don't just like get rid of it. I mean, we went to a Savage race, and this dude was 98 years old, and he finished that damn race, which is insane.
Yeah.
So, like, fitness never ends as long as you stick to it, and that is the biggest part about all of this is consistency, and that's the way you achieve results. It's the only way.
Absolutely. Love it. Yeah. It's the only way. I mean, there are people that are older that come through our gym. We have all ages, right? All ages, all levels. Like, I've trained 69, 70-year-olds. It doesn't matter. You are not too old if you are over 40 years old. You can absolutely work out, right? And just the training style might need to change, and that's fine. Fitness is different for everyone. It's a journey, guys. So just that's what I want to close on. It's a journey, and it's a process. So trust the process and be patient along the journey.
Yeah, happy Friday. Make
Happy
sure
Friday,
you like,
guys.
subscribe, follow, share.
So subscribe, Abs Fitness Filmhouse, right on Facebook. It is Abs Fitness LLC, and on Instagram, go ahead and hit that like on our most recent post, and follow Abs Fitness _ Brandon, Florida. Bye, guys. We'll see you
Operation
next
Hustle.
Friday, 2 p.m.
2 p.m. Fridays.
See you.